Welcome to April's Garage. We're talking about Buicks today, one of America's greatest car brands of all time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Buick's imminent demise. It's probably going to be an orphan brand. This patch is going to be a certified antique. Yes, very soon.
I had this urge to slap you when you said that. I actually really wanted to. I held back, of course, because that would be
well, I know you're wearing
abuse.
all of this, and you've been excited
Yes.
to open your package. So why don't you go get your package? Because someone decided to solve a problem on one of April's Buicks. So she has the 87 Grand National, and she has the 87 Grand Camino, and the Grand National has a normal stock, like hood springs on it. But the Grand Camino has these shocks, like hydraulic shocks, where you open the hood, and it's like it uppercuts you as you open the hood.
Yeah, it's a Frankenstein build. But Ring Brothers, who is the greatest car builder ever in the world.
They sent April a package. So while she's struggling to open this package, Buick's comeback was a big deal recently. So they were up 39% in sales in Q1 2025, but that's all going to come crashing down because they decided to go for cheap cars built overseas, including one in China, which...
Wait, their tariffs in China? That's going to be like 100%.
That is the big problem. So Buick's three best-selling cars in Q1 2025 were the Encore, 20,000 cars, the Envision, and the Envista, 15,000 and 14,000 cars. The Encore and the Envista are made in South Korea.
Right, so that's going to be, what, 27%, I think I said?
Yes, and the Envision is made in China, which has a 95% tariff on Chinese vehicles. So yeah, so the Buick Envista had a starting MSRP of $23,800.
That's a great price.
Great price.
Yeah.
Made in China, was selling great because just like it was proven with Walmart taking over the world and everything else, people don't care. As long as it gets them what they want as cheap as possible, they're going to buy it. So the Envista was basically like the second coming of the LeSabre or the Century or whatever in today's money, where you get some luxury, a little bit upscale, but it was pretty affordable. And whoa, that is a beefy hinge there. Whoa.
Oh my.
This is very distracting. So, oh yeah. Okay.
Like
so it does have a little strut in it. So
I feel like you need these for your SLR. The door like falls on you every time you open it up. You need some strong hinges.
Well, I do need to replace the struts. They're getting a little tired on the SLR. But yeah, so Ring Brothers, they did this amazing build. We're going all over the place here for this video. They did an amazing build of a Grand National for SEMA last year.
For SEMA, it was sick. Like reimagined Grand National, which they went crazy with it. I appreciate it. They're building a car for the Quail, which is in Monterey.
Okay.
It's kind of the fanciest car event I could ever think of, I could ever dream of, and so
this
I'm
is like a Minecraft axe. Speaking of, you know, like you're a chicken jockey. Okay.
It's so good. Thank you. This is amazing. This just means that we need to start working on the Grand Camino.
The Grand Camino needs a lot. So yeah, the 305 wheezing under the hood is going to have a pretty hood hinge to pop it up, but it's a wheezy, ugly 305 under the hood. So anyway, we're looking for a new engine, right? Come on. We are looking for a new engine, but Buick's going to have to look for a new factory or something, because if this trade war continues and heats up, and yeah, you have the 27% tariff for Korea, the two more expensive crossovers are now 27% more expensive unless they eat some of it, and then the cheapo little Envista,
it's not cheapo anymore, it'll be about double.
You just quit making it, and basically, because then the Encore and the other one are cheaper than the cheapest econo box car.
Right. They were predicting about a $10 million loss for Buick because of these tariffs. Did I say million? Because I meant to say billion.
Right.
$10 billion, which is insane.
You did the Dr. Evil thing. Yes.
Trillion. Not quite yet.
So that is really, really bad news for Buick, which, can they survive? If it doesn't make any sense, if, say, the two cars that are built in Korea are now pushing 45, 50 grand, and their cheap car, well, they just quit making it, what's the point?
It's really sad because I had dreams of the Grand National coming back. Like, not in a bad way, like the ID Buzz came back, but like in a really cool retro type of way and styling. And those dreams, I feel like, are just going up in smoke right now. with these tariffs?
So the British bank Barclays, they expect the car maker, if these tariffs stay in place, they will just completely stop importing about 450,000 cars a year from South Korea and China.
Right.
And so they'll just figure it out and retool and put up factories somewhere else. But in the meantime, there's going to be a huge lag in cars. They're also predicting that if the current tariffs remain in place over the next 10 years, they'll make about 7 million fewer cars overall, which is a ton.
Wow.
And there'll be, again, a car shortage similar to the pandemic, except stretched out over a long period of time. And here we go again.
Sure. I mean, the tariffs aren't set in stone. There's still time for negotiations, right? Am I right
Yes.
about that? That's still going on. But it's also this weird, crazy opportunity for car makers in America to kind of step up and start building.
You mean like Tesla?
manufacturing. And I guess that would be Tesla, but someone's going to come and swoop in and make those 7 million fewer units because there's an opportunity there.
And
right?
people do argue that you can't build cheap cars in the U.S. anymore, and there are cheap cars still built in the U.S., like the Nissan Versa, the Ford Escape. There's plenty of cheap, affordable cars that still can be built, because you go back 30 years and, you're like buying a Dodge Neon or whatever. Like all those factories that were in Michigan and Indiana, Ohio, whatever, they're all gone. They're idled, or they're rusted out like ruins at this point, where they can't just go back in there and start building cars the modern way. So it's a tough deal, that's for sure.
What do you think Buick should do? Are they just done? They're going to close out? Do you have a 5-year prediction on where you see them?
I don't think they can make it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Unless the deal. I mean, they'll probably make a deal with Korea, and things will be okay. But as far as it being this magic turnaround success story, probably not. But they went about it, as some people would argue, the wrong way, by going to China to build a car and Korea.
Right.
When they could have built these cars in the U.S., and that's the whole point of the tariffs. So,
right. Well, I think Buick was successful in those markets, and so that's why they kind of moved their manufacturing there. And they still sell a lot of Buicks there, but not as much anymore.
Yes. So then there's people that argue for globalization, and the U.S. needs to be ahead in tech and AI and all this stuff, and they're manufacturing based. People don't want to work manufacturing jobs anymore. So there's arguments both ways. We try not to show political leanings on this, because when we do, it's you get angry people from both sides, no matter what. There's no winning.
It's dangerous.
So, the Ring brothers, speaking of,
I'm so excited. I want to put these on. This just means that when you open it up, you want to see something beautiful. And right now, it's pretty, but it's slow. And so we want to see a new, beautiful engine in there. Right? Right? And the Gran Camino deserves a new heart.
Maybe it can be an Invista engine, like a 2-liter turbo from China.
Don't get crazy with me.
Yeah.
I will abuse you, and it will be worth it if you say things like that. Thanks so much for watching.
That's the thing.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
It's strong. So let's look at these hinges, I suppose. April couldn't wait.
I'm just scared you're going to drop a piece and it's going to be like missing inside there.
Oh, yeah.
Those are amazing.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so I think I got the passenger side one. Yeah, that would line up very, very nicely.
Oh, that is beefy.
So it would go in there, and then it has the strut already, so maybe that's a little bit less powerful of a strut. And then we are in business. Yes.
It looks so good. Do you think I could do that on my own?
No, because you need someone to help you like hold the hood up while you're doing it. So it probably needs like 2 guys and 1 person with a bolt, and it'd be really easy.
Why does that have to be guys? Why can't it be girls?
Well, it could be 3 girls, I suppose, yes.
3 girls,
but then
2.
You have these beautiful custom hinges on a cheap Canon airbox on a Wheezy 305 with all the vacuum lines, all the mess.
Yeah, Wheezy's a good term for it.
She wheezy. But we were talking big plans as far as Turbo LS or doing a swap from like a rusty Grand National, but you just went and spent all your money.
I did, but there's left a little bit. There's some left. So I feel like how much would an engine be, do you think?
A lot. Yeah, if you're spending $5 or $10 grand on
like, let's say there's like those like turbo T's just laying around and it got all beat up, but it's just we still got the engine.
And then there's the labor, and then they're swapping it all over, and you already paid like what $27,000 for this thing?
Stop it. It's worth it. It's so worth it. Jake, is it worth it?
You might be in worse shape than Buick, the company itself, on this thing. To be honest with you.
It's going to be amazing, and it needs a new engine. Like, it literally needs a new engine. So if you have any advice on what engine should go in there, I mean, it should obviously be a V6.
It's a chicken jockey.
Stop.
Chicken jockey.
Don't hurt the puppy.
Chicken jockey.
Terrible.
You want to try and use some of that stuff on me? I don't think you could strap that on,
You
but
would
you could try.
probably like that, because you're like, ooh, car parts, yeah.
What? Jake, you're supposed to turn the cameras off.